Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here with Sean from While She Sleeps. How's it going?
I'm fucking so tired, mate. You just woke me up.
I apologize.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm good. Toronto tonight. Yeah, I was just falling asleep, and here we are.
So you guys reached the midway point of the tour.
Yeah.
If looking back at the first half of the tour, how would you put a recap on it?
I think I speak for rest of the lads as well. Just surprising, really. We had quite a lot of doubts doing our first ever headliner, obviously. We've done so many tours out here. They've been great, but they've always been support tours or Warped Tour and stuff like that. So yeah, in hindsight, halfway through, we've been just pleasantly surprised by the turnout and just the reception in general, because it's so much weirder when it's your crowd, because it's your responsibility, and are our fans going to show and deliver, and like what's the energy like with these people over here? Like obviously we're used to touring Europe a lot more frequently. We're used to the energy. We know what's going to happen. Like it makes you think, is the set list right? Maybe we might need to juggle it around as we get going. But from the start, it's just been, it's like our fans are like similar kind of people worldwide. So that's been like a little reminder that our fans are just there for us. Do you know what I mean? It's good.
As you look into the second half of the tour, for those people that are still on the fence, which I honestly I don't know, why would you be on the fence? Why would you be on the fence? But for those that are still on the fence, what would you say to get them to come to the rest of the shows?
If they're on the fence, given the fact maybe they've just heard the name in passing, I'd say just give us a chance, because we've been doing the same thing for a long time since school, and I think there's a reason why people find some kind of connection to it. I mean, I'd like to think it's as genuine as possible. We're only doing it because we love it. I mean, I can't live without music. Not necessarily can't live without music, but I can't live without writing music personally. That's kind of my personal connection to this whole thing, is I love writing music, and then the cherry on the top is going to the show and seeing the connection. But I'd like to think we're a breath of fresh air in this, I think, quite a diluted scene with a lot of heavy bands sounding quite the same, and I mean, that's not me saying that we're like completely different or any better or anything. I just personally, it's hard for me to get attracted to metal music these days, because everything sounds so much like the last big hype or the last big thing. So if you feel the same way as me, I'd like to think that we could be that band for you that maybe ticks a few new boxes for you, that, you know, we're still heavy but it's a little bit different. That's what I'm always trying to do with the writing, is to, because I'm always going to want to be in a heavy band, but just not like everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So I think obviously that's what everyone's trying to do. So I'd like to be a new lease of life for someone who's maybe losing a bit of faith in the metal scene. That's what I'd like. So come to a show and buy a ticket, please.
You mentioned a little bit about the set list. Last time I saw you guys in Toronto, you guys were here with the Architects, and obviously you had a limited time in terms of how many songs you could play on your set. Tonight being the headliner, you have a little bit more freedom. How much from the new album are you guys including on this tour?
I think it's almost half the set list. Yeah, I think we're doing like maybe 5 songs off the new album. And for a while, weirdly, you know, we write a record, we finish the record, and then before you know it, you're thrown into a tour. And when it was released, we didn't actually get much time to practice a lot of new songs off the record. So before our latest headliner in the UK, we actually had a little break, so we started introducing a few more of the new songs. So luckily, America and Canada have got to feel some of those new songs too, which is a shame really, because you write all this album and then before you know it, people are like, why aren't you playing the new stuff? I'm like, we haven't had time to practice the fucking songs. Like, so yeah, there's some, pretty much nearly half the set is new stuff.
I want to ask you a little bit about the album, because obviously you guys are headlining, you're touring, you're supporting the new record. I felt that this album, perhaps more than the previous records, really transfer the energy that you guys have in your live shows into the studio. Was that something important for you guys to transmit that into your studio sound?
I think it's always there, like, but not necessarily that kind of a thought. Like, how do we get our energy on stage into a song? It's not. I don't think it's like a conscious thought, but I'm always taking into consideration what it would be like to play this section live. Sometimes I'll take a knee on some sections in a song, and I'll not worry about what it's like live. For the sake of it, the dynamics are going to sound great in your ears. So I'll start with the ears first. I'm like, when someone's got the song, do you know what I mean, and it's out and it's released. So sometimes I'll write something for that purpose, and then some other sections I'll be like, let's make this right for live, because there's the two-edged sword really, because people are going to listen to you in their ears, and other people are going to listen to you out front with the stage show. It's like, because if you write everything just for the ears, sometimes when you go to play it live, it doesn't equate. You might not be able to move as well, and you might not be able to scream the right bit. Like, so it's important, I think, to have a balance to make it interesting. But then you need some sections where I'm very in tune to know what we are all good and what kind of bounce and tempo that we're all good at, like dancing to basically, and feeling the vibe on stage. I'm good at knowing what that is now with the Sleep song. So I'm glad you picked up on that as like a feeling of, that you're going to feel that energy when you watch it live. So yeah, it goes into it, but it's never like a written down conscious thought. It's kind of like in the ether.
Yeah, like I thought it was always there, even with the previous records. You guys always had a very good ability of transferring from one to the other and vice versa. But I just felt in this record, you guys really, you just really nailed it.
Yeah.
And that to me was one of the huge differences on the record. The other one was I felt the sound was very eclectic. I didn't feel like you guys went into the studio with set parameters in terms of what you wanted the songs to sound like. Was that some of the way you're writing the songs? You're thinking, let me just do the best songs that we can do.
I think I put a lot of pressure on myself when I'm writing anyway, so that's a given. That I think it's nice that it gets received that way. That I've heard a lot of the same comments too, where it's like the album's just matured like perfectly from UOE to So What, which is what I wanted really. I wanted to be not taking away any magic that we had before, but I wanted to basically become more of a solid writer in our songs, where the songs just, you don't lose any energy and you don't lose any like connection to it. And so yeah, that's what I wanted from So What, to be more professional is not the right word, because I don't want it to be a professional album, but more like, it's really hard to put into words, because this is the thing when people ask me about the music. It's like I write the songs because I don't know what to say. So it's like how the songs sound is what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I'll write a riff, and a riff can say so much with the way it sounds and like the notes and like the feeling it gives you. That's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's really hard to explain it, because when you put it into words, it sounds really simple and boring. But when you listen to it, you understand that it's not so boring and not so simple. So I suppose that's what we go in for. I always want it to be a better album, but defining better is a little bit hard because my better is maybe not your better. But gladly, a lot of our fans have said yes, it's the right step for us. Do you know what I mean? So
I also enjoyed something about the album, at least for me personally. I don't know if you'll agree with me. I felt the album had a little bit of the middle finger.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of that attitude. Yeah. Was that the middle finger a little bit maybe to the establishment, the music establishment?
Well, yeah, we kind of live on that a lot. Like, I mean, we've been fucked by the industry and still being fucked, always being fucked. Like, and we're always... It's a strange world, because you kind of need it sometimes, and then sometimes you're like, fuck this, we don't need it. So it's like this kind of crisscross with it, but we're always rebelling against it, but you're also inside it. So it's kind of like rebelling against society. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can moan about society and all the rules and stuff all you want, but at the end of the day, you're in society and you're playing the game, kind of thing. So that's the same way I feel about the industry. It's like it's not all bad, but it's definitely not all good either. So we're always trying to design some kind of new way to deal with that situation. And the bottom line is it's just so we can survive. Like, how do we make a living and continue what we're doing? And that's what the industry is good at fucking you over for, especially at bands at our level, and even maybe bands a little bit smaller and under than us. It's hard, man. And a lot of people want to do this for their dream job and travel the world and stuff, but it makes it incredibly difficult. I mean, we've been doing it for 15 years now, and we're now just making a living. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm not bitching on the industry, but it's not fucking perfect. Let me tell you that. We are constantly patching up mistakes that the industry throws at us throughout the years. So yeah, I don't have the best words to say about it. Basically it's just a system that's still in place, and it's slowly changing. Like, there's obviously new things that are coming about, but I think it's the main thing that it's like music isn't as precious as it's supposed to be, because it's so easy to get, so it loses its like just its specialness, because it's so easy to get. So you listen to a song and you never understand what it actually took to make the song, because you get it, and then the problem is you get the song and someone goes, shit, I don't like it, shit, at the back end of this huge part of someone's life and hard work and all this shit they've gone through, all the money they've spent, the money they've lost, the arguments, the fallouts, family, so much shite's gone on. And you write this album or song, and then they get it so quick and they go, well, that was shit. So that's not the industry. That's just more the way that music's perceived these days. But I don't know shit. So yes, it is a middle finger a little bit.
Does that play into the fact that you guys decided to start your own label in order to have a little bit more ownership over your own music and control over what you guys do?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people say that, where they're like, oh, you did your own label and released independently, and like, oh, does that mean you get to make all your own decisions? And we're like, we always did that. Like, we've signed deals and we're working with companies now, but it's like no one will ever be able to tell Sleeps what to do, and they kind of know that, which is cool. But a lot of people maybe some bands are different, but like, labels have never had an impact on our creative design, the music, or anything. And weirdly enough, we've actually wanted it. We've been like, yo, let's sign this deal. Maybe this team can really help expand our ideas and make what we believe While She Sleeps is to a larger scale, etc. And they never do. So, and we've kind of realised it's just that the common saying, if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. And it's true, because this is our baby. So how are you going to get someone who's close enough to you, who you don't know, who's going to really give a shit as much as you do? They're never really going to give as much shit as you, because they have their own job and their own lives. We're not number one. We're number 12 or number 25. This is number one for us. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. There's a few smokes and mirrors in the label and the management industry that I don't really like, because the same smokes and mirrors they play on everyone, because they, you know what I mean? They do it for every band. So it's like, there's a bit of truth in it, and I think there's a bit of, this is my job and this is what I do. So I always know that for a fact now, that no matter what someone tells you they're going to do and how much they love the band, they're never going to love it as much as you. That's a fact. Like, this is our life, this is our baby. So, and as growing up through the industry, you start to realise that these people that work in the industry, there's nothing special about these people. They're just like me and you. And you say, I work in the music industry. It's like, there's no... It is smokes and mirrors, and you can do it all yourself. You can figure that shit out, like, along the way. We've learned so much by doing that, and each step you learn a little bit more, and you go, oh shit, you keep revealing these, knocking down these barriers in these curtains. You're like, oh, there's nothing even here. Like, yeah.
From talking to you, I get this sensation that you guys have matured a lot over the past couple of years, being on the road, doing the albums. As you look at the band now, do you feel like you're a little bit more immune to those problems, and you start to have a thicker skin to it?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. It's like, as you go through this, like I said, like when you're younger, you're a little bit
naive,
very naive, and you feel like these with every aspect of being in a band, from down to your gear, down to how you play your guitar, down to the industry and the people you meet, like promoters, management, all this shit. You're so naive to it, like you believe anything, and you're like, wow, we can't do this without you, and there's no chance we can do that without you. And as you grow up, your eyes naturally start to open up, and you realize that, you're just living your life like I'm living my life, and you've got a job to do, I've got a job to do. And I don't know, it's a weird one. And like, I'd give props to our guitarist Matt. He's been the secret manager to our band since we started, but no one ever called him a manager, because you don't get that title. You're not a manager. The managers are out there somewhere, the professional managers. And then it took a few years, and then we're like, Matt's been managing us for a while, like in terms of the logistics and stuff like that, and like a lot of stuff that he does that no one else in the band would want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of business side of stuff. And that's what you start to realize. You go, oh shit, that's the role you're playing. Oh, I'm playing this role, and the other band member's doing this role. And you realize that you turn into your own little management team or label team together, and that's all the infrastructure of a label and management is, people like us. So it's like the smokes and mirrors gets deleted the more you progress, and the more decisions and deals and touring, and when you start to see how money's made in the industry, you start to see how to take care of it yourself, because it's our problem. Do you know what I mean? That's the main thing. It's our problem, it's not theirs. So that's what we've learned mainly.
You got to take care of yourself. You're number one.
That's it. Like, people care for sure. I'm not saying no one cares about us, but they're never going to fully give everything, because why would they? They have their own shit. We're going to give everything.
I know you want to go back to sleep, so I'm going to ask you. One more question. As you start to look now after the tour, once this tour is over, I know you guys are going to be at Summer Breeze. So am I. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. Cool. What other plans do you guys have?
We have some plans, but I can't tell you. Yeah, we're doing some festivals, and yeah, we're working on something relatively big. But I can't say what that is yet. I'm going to be writing. I always write. I've tried to write on the road, but it's not happening. So as soon as I get home, I'll just fucking have like an explosion of creativity, which I can't wait for, because I just struggle on my laptop and stuff. I need to get back home to the studio, and like all my inspiration kind of just falls on top of my head. So I'm looking forward to that. And like when I tour, like we just did the Europe UK headline, the biggest tour we've ever done, and then I come over here. It's fucking amazing. So I actually get inspired to see that our life's work is actually making a huge wave throughout the world, which is incredible, really. So that somehow gets absorbed into me, and then I just sit down with my guitar and I start to write, and it all just fucking shits out me. So I'm looking forward to that, to get home and make some... I want to make the best fucking album ever. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my goal, again. And it's always my goal. And it fucks me over because I put so much pressure on myself and I can't help it, but... that is what I live for, is that pressure and all this writing shit. I don't know how to explain it, but that's my jam, is that. So I'm looking forward to, don't know, something fresh for everyone. It's not fucking, I've heard that a little bit before and like that sounds like that. No, I want something fresh. So I need to dig deep somewhere in there. Or up there, I don't know.
Well, thank you very much for your time. All the best with the rest of the tour. And like I said, I'll see you guys at Summer Breeze.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice one. Man.